Today, the Chief Minister of West Bengal said that leave all of this aside. What is needed at this point is opposition unity, or the unity of non-BJP parties against, and I quote, direct attacks on institutional democracy, central agencies being used to target, harass and corner rivals, and BJP is doing vindictive politics, including trying to influence a section of judiciary.
Good evening, Padmaja. And whatever I say here is separate from my respect for Dr. Sen, who is the TMC spokesperson and who has been a fantastic COVID warrior. So thank you for being a COVID warrior. But whatever I'm going to say and criticize you in the next 2 minutes is separate from what you've done for the country. Thank you for that. Padmaja, I sincerely don't know what you're talking about. There is no crime in Bengal, no violence, no suppression of freedom of speech and expression, no slapping of UAPA on activists, no sedition charges on 75 people, no political murders, no ethnic cleansing. Bengal is the proverbial and literal Eden Garden. To be serious, Padmaja, let me give you the facts, because bina fact ke ye manenge nahi. The signs were all there. As far back as 2018, Padmaja, during the Bengal Panchayat elections, 20,076 seats in the Panchayat polls went uncontested. That is 34% of total seats. As far as political violence is concerned, Trinamool makes even the communists appear like Bhagpat chart vendors partaking in a comical duel. And knowing the communists, that takes some doing. Fast forward now to 2022. And the recent severe indictment of the West Bengal government by the Calcutta High Court should have changed the TMC and its Albert Spears, but nothing happened. The fact that the court noted the police had not registered the FIR in 60% of the cases, Padmaja, was troubling beyond measure. In para after para, the court blasted the Bengal government. The court can no longer be a mute spectator, it said. Remember, blood-curdling affidavits by victims of Bengal violence were ignored by those who claimed this. Media was scared. Judges were. Those human rights activists and the Roys and the Seetalwad, they wake up only when victims are not Hindu women. The journalists and the activists keep saying, we speak truth to power, we speak truth to power. But in reality, they speak truth to Modi. Not when those in power of Uddhav Thackeray or Vijayan or Mamata Didi. They dismiss the gut-wrenching violence and mass exodus and retribution as orchestrated by the fascist BJP. But multiple instances of violent attacks and murder were also reported by the Congress and the CPIM. So the BJP is colluding with the Congress and the Communists now. Sitaram Yechuri is a Sanghi. That's why I call them children of Goebbels, Padmaja. Because it was Goebbels who said, the first rule of propaganda is to accuse the other of what you are guilty of. They whitewash their own crimes with the help of their media stooges. They whitewash religious fundamentalism and fanaticism. If the religion is not Hinduism, they whitewash application of draconian laws when it suits them. They peddle fraudulent reports that claim India is no longer a democracy. Just 10 seconds, Padmaja. The fact is that they ignore evidence of rape, torture, exodus, communalism, bigotry, and intolerance if it happens to be a non-BJP state, and especially Bengal. The fact, Padmaja, is that they are reporting the dance of death as dance of democracy.
The TMC also talking about prospective consequences of anyone voting for the BJP. It's just rhetoric.
Padmaja, two things. First of all, it was quite amusing to see one of the panelists bring in suddenly whataboutery. That you are accusing Mamata of doing it, but look at what was happening in other parties. So when it suits them, they bring about whataboutery. But can I just say, express my displeasure at the conduct of the very good and very established Dr. Sen, who is the TMC spokesperson. I don't want to answer my following questions as a spokesperson, as a politician. His first role as serving humanity is as a doctor, Dr. Sen. So I want to ask you, I gave you facts. I told you that 20,000 Panchayati election seats went uncontested. Even communists had not managed 34%. They had at best managed only 9%. What was the reason for that? And number two, I ask you as a humanist.
Have you got the idea of Tripura?
When you say, sir, please don't interrupt. Sir, I didn't interrupt.
Have you got the idea of Tripura Panchayat election?
So now your response to my Bengal election is Tripura election? Is that how you're going to serve as a doctor? Sir, please. Ratul, okay, he's a communist. I might differ from him. But during the Bhangar agitation, he was cruelly arrested and tortured by Mamata Di, your government, slapped with UAPA charges.
When you talk about death of democracy at the center, why are you slapping UAPA charges on activists like Sharmishta Chaudhary, like Dr. Ratul? He's a doctor like you, Dr. Stan. Please answer these two questions.